Hello and welcome to the stream, XRP Army. If you're watching the replay of this video, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the 4-minute mark. I'm going to give it time for people to jump in and get everything going. Make sure the stream is buffered, make sure the audio is good. I'm going to be covering a lot of updated news today that we got as far as regulation and adoption yesterday and this morning, as well as ETF updates and all of those things. So make sure you stick around, skip ahead to the 4-minute mark if you don't want to wait for everyone to come in and wait for things to warm up. I'm going to start welcoming everyone into the stream. I have moved my streams from 8:30 to noon. I got a little bit of a late start today, so we're going to let people catch on that we're live. Streams from now on will be going on at noon, not 8:30 a.m. So if you're catching the replay again, streams are now moving to noon instead of 8:30. I did a post on the channel, but again, as well, I'm going to give everyone just a minute to get in and we will get things going because we have a lot of information to cover. Still waiting for people to hop in here. Hopefully I have a couple people in here already. Haven't seen any of my regulars say anything in the chat. The chat is the lifeblood of the stream. Again, I'm going to start the stream at 4 minutes or so, just giving people time to get in, get things buffered. So if you're hopping into the stream, make sure to let me know you're here in the chat. The chat is the lifeblood. But we have updates from the SEC. We have updates from the XRPL activity. We have ETF updates. We got major news circulating around XRP, as well as the price is up to about 218 right now, which is always a good sign. Still haven't seen anyone say anything in the chat. Do we have anyone in the chat yet? Any of my regulars managed to pop in here yet? It's very quiet, which is very abnormal for me. But usually I do these streams at 8:30, so I might be getting a different audience. So if anyone's in there, please let me know. I'm not seeing anyone in the chat as of yet. Hopefully that changes here very shortly. Again, giving it to the 4-minute mark, so we still have 2 minutes to get things started. I see people hopping into the chat now. I got Brad Dixon from Dallas. I see Crypto Roger hopping in. Good morning, or good afternoon, right? 12:30 now. Sorry, got a little bit of a late start. Planned to do noon. I had an appointment run late this morning. I didn't get in until about 15 minutes ago. So luckily I had everything pulled up and ready to go. We got lots of stuff to cover. But again, starting the stream at 4 minutes. So we still got about a minute and a half left. Again, I see a couple of our regulars. We got Brad and Crypto Roger in here. Fishing Man, good day. I don't recognize that name in the stream, so welcome. Looks like we got a new one. Again, I moved the stream from 8:30 to noon from now on for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of news breaks in the morning, and then two, I think it gives the opportunity for a lot more people to get in the stream who view the replays and things like that. So hopefully noon will work well for everyone. And I'll get started in about 50 seconds. Chat wasn't working. Hi from Nottingham, UK. Okay, good. The chat's working now. Stefan Wider, new to the channel. Welcome. I'm going to start the actual stream here in about 30 seconds, just giving people time to get in, and I will go through my normal spiel. So if you're new to the stream, I will give you the full update of how things work, as well as all of the information we're going to cover today. Any guesses for the XRP price as of January 1, 26? I will cover that again as I get through all of the information. We have another from Dallas. Let's see, Raul from Dallas. For those of you who didn't know, I lived in Wichita Falls, Texas for several years, just north of Dallas. So very familiar with the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All right. And we are at the 4-minute mark, so I will get things rolling, okay? So usually I start with good morning, but I've got to change that, right? So hello, XRP Army. Welcome back to the channel. If it is your first time here, kick back, relax. I'm not going to ask you to do anything, but if it's your second time, make sure you hit subscribe, smash the like button, and engage in the chat. The chat is the lifeblood of the stream. The way I run my streams, I will come on here. We will go over any breaking news first, and then I will hop into the chart, and we use the chart for price action and context. We are here for the long view of XRP. We are not here for what XRP is going to do tomorrow, next week. We are here for what is going to happen a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, as this is being built out. So That being said, we will hop into the chart for context. I will go through all of the questions in the chat once I get through all of the information. Live streams are broken down into two parts. I do the chart and then the news and ETFs, and then I will skip into the chat and I'll answer any questions and talk to everyone. And as long as the chat keeps going, I'll keep going. And then I will do a recap of everything that we covered for everyone that came into the stream late, and we'll continue from there. If the chat keeps going, we'll turn it into an XRP Army hangout like we always do. So moving along, let me get that out of my eye here. Moving along, let's hop into the chart. So I'll start with that. Let me pull that up for you here. Oh, of course, there it is. Okay, it's just lagging a little bit. All right, so we'll hop into the chart here. As you can see, yesterday when we were talking, we had a nice run up here. We got all the way up to 216 while we were streaming, and it continued all the way up to 220. We lost 220 and fell down to 214 this morning, this large manipulation candle right here. We did get poor ADP jobs data this morning. That was the cause of this. It hit the market all at once, and it looks like it's recovered since then. So what does poor jobs data mean for us? It means the economy is doing bad. Ultimately, the economy is not doing well, even though the stock market's up, right? And that's the context we're trying to paint. So jobs data, bad. Unemployment, up. So the real economy, you, me, everyone else, the real people, we're struggling right now. Inflation's up, economy's down, but the stock market's still pumping. And we've talked about the AI bubble and that the stock market is being lifted by these AI valuations, which are being completely pumped full of debt. So that's why I keep saying we are balancing on the edge of a knife, because this can teeter either way. But right now, markets are recovering nicely after the poor jobs data. What this pretty much guarantees is that we're going to get a rate cut in December. This is the last jobs data they're going to get before they make the decision on the rate cuts. A quarter rate cut's already pretty much guaranteed at this point. This is really going to determine if we're going to get a 50-point cut or not. Again, and Japan is hiking this month. They have pretty much already said it, which could create a massive problem in regards to the reverse carry trade. So back to the chart. Let's take a quick look at BTC. We always check and see if XRP's moves are following Bitcoin's moves, because we've pointed out the bubble of volume that follows Bitcoin that we're concerned about. But as it looks right now, the entire crypto market is doing the same thing. XRP is following Bitcoin. That being said, we are waiting for a decoupling, and I have said many times that I think that will happen when we get a reclassification in January. Again, that's not guaranteed, but January 15th, they are looking at reclassifying the DATs, right? The treasury companies, as potential funds based on what they're holding. And as you can see, we've pointed this out in every single stream. If you look at the volume since the beginning of time of Bitcoin, right? Since its inception, it has been steadily declining as we've had this mass price appreciation. All of this volume is hollow. I have always pointed this out as a scary possibility for Bitcoin to fall. Now, if that were to happen, I think that would be part of the decoupling that would happen with XRP. Again, my theory, my opinion, not financial advice. Everything on this channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I present to you guys the news, the facts, the figures. I give you my take on it, and hopefully you can create your own thesis and do your own research. But that being said, it is time to hop into the ETFs. So let's pull up our XP market scan. Thank you, Janine. I'm not seeing her in the stream. Hopefully she gets in later. But she was one of my subscribers who gave me the link to this. So we can see the flows of the XRP ETFs. And I have an important distinction to note on this. I'm going to pull it up here in just a minute. Very, very important when it comes to ETF flows. Because when we talk about supply shock, and we've seen this been going down during the market crash, as you will, after, not really a full crash, but the market's been down since Thanksgiving, if you will. But we saw that they are still pulling in inflows, and this is important. This was right before the holiday, but we're talking about them still pulling in inflows. Where did I put it? It's right here. So XRP ETFs extend an 11-day inflow streak as 1 billion mark nears. Okay, so think about that. 11 days straight during this poor market of nothing but positive inflows, and ETFs are already approaching $1 billion after 11 days. Remember, JP Morgan thought there was going to be 4 to 8 billion of inflows in the XRP. Was it JP Morgan? I think it was JP Morgan or T-Cream. I'm not sure. JP Morgan or T-Cream CEO thought there was going to be like 4 billion of inflows in the first month for XRP. Not to mention, we just had Vanguard start allowing their clients to buy the Bitwise XRP ETF. That's why it soared yesterday, and I'll pull that up here in a minute. Hopefully it's still there. But the Bitwise XRP ETF soared yesterday because Vanguard is allowing its customers to purchase it now. So the ETF inflows are vitally important and are going to play a bigger part than most people are even realizing when it comes to liquidity for XRP and supply shock scenarios. Again, my opinion. So if I go back here, I pulled this down. I want to pull this back up. So XRP spot ETFs have recorded inflows for 11 consecutive trading days, pushing cumulative inflows to 756 million as of December 1st, according to Soso Value data. The products added another 89.65 million on Monday alone, marking one of the strongest sessions since launch. Strong momentum across all issuers. So this isn't just one ETF. Every single issuer is having strong momentum. The latest inflows lifted total net assets across the 4 U.S. funds to 723 million, equal to 0.6% of XRP's market capitalization. So they're nearing 1% of total market capitalization just for the 4 ETFs. That is a ton of supply being locked up. The trend places the category within reach of the $1 billion asset milestone, a level analysts view as a key threshold for long-term institutional adoption. So key threshold for long-term institutional adoption is about to be hit, and we're already only at 11 days. Okay, think about that. This is a massive accelerant of how fastly money is pouring into these ETFs, and it's going to continue 11 straight days. If you want to talk about decoupling from Bitcoin, the 11 straight days, in the last 11 days since these ETFs have been live, XRP ETFs have done more inflows than Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. Think about that. Connect some dots, guys. I know it's early, but I mean that's some data for you right there. And I want to look at this inflow we were talking about for Bitwise. If you look here, they are now number one. They're the first one showing right here. 100 excuse me. Total volume since inception, 153 million. Rex Osprey, 212 million. Remember, they were the first one to go. Canary Capital is leading the pack with 247 million. But this, guys, this number changed dramatically as soon as Vanguard became live. I really do think in the next week or two, we're going to see the Bitwise XRP ETF become the number one in total volume. Again, my opinion, not financial advice. So we've covered the inflows. We've covered that XRP is literally taking money out of Bitcoin and Ethereum's pocket. But I want to talk about what is actually being locked in supply. So we went through this. We go through this every single day to see what is actually being held in supply by these XRP ETFs. So let's start with Franklin Templeton. I'll refresh here so we get the most up to date. It was 53 million yesterday, up to 57 million. So they took 4 million yesterday. We're going to go to Grayscale. They were at 36. Whoa, Grayscale up to 64 million XRP in their trust now. Let's take a look at Canary Capital. 162 million, so another million added by Canary Capital. Rex Osprey, still no change for Rex Osprey. Bitwise is going from 83 million to 87 million, so another 4 million added for Bitwise. So we can still see every single day XRP being removed from supply. The biggest one was Grayscale. They went a massive jump from 38 million to 64 million. So almost a 30 million XRP jump by Grayscale. That is massive. And I'm going to pull XRP back up here just to see what we're looking at, see if that has any correlation. Doesn't look like it does. Okay, no. And if we look at 21 shares also, everyone wants to know about 21 shares. They did release a tweet yesterday. Let me see if I bookmarked it. I believe I did. And again, you can follow me on X. So I guess it's a post, not a tweet. You can follow me on X. I post on there any information that you might find interesting. Chainlink ETF is doing well, by the way. If any of you guys are Chainlink holders, their ETF is kicking butt. Let's take a look here for you. No, I would have put it in the bookmarks. And here it is. 21 shares sent out a tweet 22 hours ago. We are waiting the SEC to declare us effective. Please wait for the announcement from our official socials. So we are still waiting on 21 shares. I guess when Yahoo Finance reported that they were approved by the SEC and going live, then I guess that wasn't true. But you can see here, I mean, this is where I not all of my information, but I get a lot of information here. I got the information about Japan here. I get information about the ETFs here, and I retweet all of that or repost all of that. So feel free to follow me on X at Longview Crypto. And then moving right along, we've covered all of the ETF information. We covered the inflows. We covered the fact that they're almost at $1 billion. We covered all the locked up XRP. I've been doing this ad nauseum. I covered the Japanese yen to the US dollar and the correlation it has with Bitcoin in reverse to the carry trade. You can see when we had our massive sell-off here, it correlated directly with Bitcoin the other day. Something to pay attention to if you're not already. It's just another potential indicator, but this does follow very closely to Bitcoin. Moving along to the news, we have new Ripple partners. If you caught the short yesterday, Ripple has partnered with Red Dot Pay to expand XRP-powered remittances in Africa. Ripple teams with Red Dot Pay to enable XRP and crypto to NGN remittances, boosting Africa's cross-border payment efficiency. Ripple strengthened its presence in Africa's payment corridor after Red Dot Pay added XRP, the actual crypto, added XRP to its expanding remittance network. The partnership introduced a new service that allows users to send digital assets and deliver Nigerian Naira to local accounts within minutes. This development gives Nigeria, Africa's largest market, another on-chain payment path at a time when demand for low-cost cross-border options continues to rise. Just so you guys know, Red Dot Pay is also affiliated with Mexico and I believe Brazil. Red Dot Pay targets faster NGN transfers through stablecoins and XRP. Service supports USDC, USDT, BTC, ETH, SOL, TON, STRX, XRP, and BNB. Additionally, RLUSD will join the list later. Users now convert digital assets into Naira within minutes, reducing friction across Nigeria's high-demand remittance market. So they got the MAS approval in Asia, and the same day they got approval in Africa remittances. They are plugging in and turning on everything at the same time. And that's why this stuff is important. There is almost 10x XRP, or excuse me, there's almost a 10x activity on the XRP Ledger, okay? So I did a short on this as well. 1.35 billion XRP transferred in a single day, marking a surge far above the typical 150 to 200 million range seen through November. So when all of this stuff was going on, we have massive XRP movement on chain. They are building something. We had the AccountSet explanation that happened from 3 days ago when they went from 20,000 account sets to a 40,000 account set spike days before they, or not days, excuse me, the day before they announced the MAS deal. So they're doing all this. I mean, they're doing all this on-chain activity that's correlating with real adoption and use case happening in real time. And if we want to take it a step further, the SEC comes out yesterday and they expect to roll out an innovation exemption. They're expecting to roll out an innovation exemption for crypto in January. This is massive. So to give you context, Wall Street was saying, don't do this. And SEC is like, yeah, we're going to do it anyway. We know you don't like it, but we're going to do it anyway. Regulators seek to catalyze digital asset innovation while balancing market integrity and investor safeguards amid shifting global competition. SEC Atkins said the agency is working with Congress by providing technical assistance on crypto legislation. The SEC plans to introduce an plans to introduce an innovation exemption for crypto-related activities within the next month. This will only apply to US-based crypto, by the way. Important note, XRP is US-based. SEC Chair Paul Atkins on Tuesday said the agency is working on an innovation exemption for crypto expected to be released in the coming weeks, so in January. The plan aims to help the U.S. embrace crypto innovation after years of regulatory pushback. The timeline was delayed somewhat by the recent government shutdown. Atkins also noted that the SEC is providing technical assistance to Congress on related legislation. So, I'm looking forward to having an innovation exemption that we've been talking about now. We'll be able to get that out in a month or so is what I'm hoping, said Atkins. So, that being said, what does an innovation exemption mean for XRP and Ripple? I actually pulled it up here real quick in AI for you on GPT. It gave a much better summary. Let me pull that up for you guys real quick here if I can find it. That was, where did it go? No. Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, well, let me get out of that. You don't see that anyway. So, what does this mean? Major stock exchanges have expressed concerns to the SEC about loosening rules for crypto platforms, particularly amid the rise of tokenized stocks and expanded global trading access. So what does this mean for XRP? They are a US-based company, and they are going to get special treatment when it comes to innovation and building out. And then what it's going to do is it's really going to streamline the process, and no one is more prepared for banks to hop in and say, let's get this thing going, than XRP and Ripple. There's no one else as plugged in, and we're seeing it every single step of the way. It's not stopping. Sorry, wrong button. Let me pull this back up here. There it goes. It is going, but every single step of the way, they're just building out further and further and further. So that being said, today, this just came out that the second biggest XRP Ledger implosion in 365 days, so the second biggest in the last year. Why is this important? So we just had the report of the 1.35 billion. This one shows a 2.23 billion in XRP payments on December 2nd. So December 1st, there was 1.35 billion in XRP payments. And then on December 2nd, there was 2.23 billion in XRP payments back to back. Okay, that's not nothing, especially when all of these partnerships and corridors are being opened at the exact same time. So, I mean, we have data. We have data to see it. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We are here for the long view, okay? That is all the news I have for you today. I'm going to hop into the chat. If someone could let me know how many people we have in the stream, I can't see it from my side, but I'm going to start getting into the chat and go through all the questions. Hopefully we have a lot more new people in the stream today. Since we changed the time to a little bit later, hopefully more people could join us. So let's see here. Getting into the chat. White Phelan, any chance of private ledge, public ledge merger? I mean, there's always a chance, but that's going to come up to all the that's going to be up to all the validators on XRP. Remember, Ripple only operates one validator node. So really that's going to come up to the XRP ledger. It's always a possibility for changes. That is one of the cool things about the XRP ledger, is that it can be changed and it has to be voted on by all the participants. The Three Brothers says, I've been waiting for your show. Welcome, Three Brothers. Welcome. Sorry I was a little late today. I had an appointment run late. White Phelan. I'm going with White Fallon. I like White Fallon. Sounds better. White Fallon gave me a rocket ship. Daniel Parker, first time catching a stream, but enjoying the content. But welcome, Daniel. Welcome. That's why I changed it to be a little bit later in the day, so I can get more people in here. One of the reasons. Plus, we get a lot of crypto news in the mornings. Crypto Roger says, Jake Claver is making predictions of 50 to 2,000 this year. I mean, Jake Claver's been making predictions for a long time. I will never talk bad about Jake. He has done a ton for the XRP community, and he has done a ton for XRP on YouTube. He's one of the most followed people out there. But again, I never thought we were going to see $1,000 this year. That's just not me. I thought we'd be lucky to see 15 to 25 with a supply shock. However, if his predictions come true, then I mean, that's great news for me. I would be one of the happiest people here. I guarantee you that. Let's see here. Fishing Man says, surprised people haven't jumped onto XRPT with the price appreciation on the doorstep. A 2x leverage ETF seems like a great opportunity. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people don't have the same conviction. And honestly, with the only thing that really stinks about XRPT is the constant rebalancing that happens at the end of every day. So it's just, and you can't buy and sell it after hours unless it gets tokenized eventually. So it's not as liquid. I think that's maybe why a lot of people, but I mean, if you are a firm believer, again, also too, the 2x leverage ETF, you're not holding the physical token as well. And a lot of people want to actually hold the physical asset. Daniel Parker says, I think we need BlackRock before we see a major supply shock. I don't think it will be till Q1 or Q2 where we see price movement. I think it might be coming sooner than we think. I think this Vanguard opening the doors for their customers to start buying Bitwise XRP ETF is going to be a major part of it. And also with the SEC coming out with this loosening the innovation, with this innovation announcement, that's going to allow banks to hop on board a lot faster as well. I mean, this is the most bullish government regulation news we've gotten since Trump was elected, to be honest with you. And I think we're going to see a lot come from this. We still need the Fed master account. We still need the bank charter, and we still need clarity. We need those things for them to fully utilize XRP the way it is intended to be used. So again, we will see the breadcrumbs before it happens. My opinion, not financial advice. What would your hypothetical price prediction be for this time next year? I know you don't like to speculate, but for fun. I'm thinking, if I'm just speculating based on my brain and connecting dots and trying to read the tea leaves. Now, remember, I was the one who said that I thought we were going to have a steady decrease in supply that would raise our price through December into January. And we're going to find out. Now is the month for me to find that out. But if I was looking at a price prediction for next year, man, it depends on how much they use it. And that's really hard to say. Assuming we get a bank charter and a Fed, at least, okay, I have to give you a scenario. If I'm trying to give you a price prediction for next year, I'm assuming we get clarity in Q1, assuming we get clarity in Q1, assuming we get a bank charter and at least a skinny Fed master account, before Q2, and ETFs keep continuing the way they are, I do believe that this time next year that high double digits, low triple digits is possible based on how they use it. And that's the closest thing I can give you, because in order for them to use it at scale, it has to be a higher price. It has to. So, and I think they're going to use it. So that's where I'm getting that number from. My opinion, not financial advice. Let's see here. Hi from Wellington in New Zealand. New Zealand, welcome. That's a new one for us. Welcome from New Zealand, Stevens. Oh, no, wait. You've been in here before. Maybe I just didn't know you were from New Zealand. Let's see here. My chat just skipped ahead. Give me a second here. Oh, it skipped all the way to the bottom. That's why. Hi from Wellington, New Zealand. George Evans said, I just answered my hypothetical price prediction. It's good to be back. Hi from New Zealand again, Corey Anderson. Okay, so a couple people from New Zealand. Welcome. Steven says this is great information. More people need to see this. I appreciate that, Stevens. And if you want to help the channel grow, the best thing you guys can do is like, comment, and engage in the chat. The more engagement the chat has, the more it pumps it out for people to see. The more people come in, the more we chat, it continues going. Sorry, my phone's ringing on me here. Let me get rid of that. So chat, like, share. If you guys do find value and you want to get out a less hypey version of the information, I'd appreciate it. I try to be, kind of direct and calm in this sea of noise that we get. Let's see here. Corey Anderson, it's nothing we already don't know. Exciting times ahead. Absolutely exciting times ahead, and I can't wait for it. Janine's in the stream. Hi, Janine. Welcome. Let's see here. Janine said there's 28 people in here, pretty much. Don't worry, Janine. I'll do a recap. You missed everything, and you can rewatch, too. It helps me. Let's see here. Quelly says hi. Quelly's in the stream. Corey Anderson's asking if this is live. We are live. Very, very live. Let's see here. George Evans, what do you think about the credit blockchain XRP mining contracts? It could be high yield. It could be. I'm waiting to see what their full, once they get fully developed on the XRPL, I'm waiting to see what they come up with. If I am going to do anything, it's going to probably be native, and it's going to be through the XRPL or Ripple. I'm trying to keep it as close to the vest as possible. I'm not going to venture out and try. I mean, I might try, a little bit here and there, but I haven't researched enough to give you a really good information on it, George. How about that? I need to look more into the mining contracts and see how risky they are and what they require. But if anything, though, it's extremely exciting that we have options now for XRP, that we can actually earn a yield on our XRP, and those options are becoming more and more plentiful. That is an amazing thing, and that is innovation happening in real time. Let's see here. Corey says, I don't really care. I just buy and hold. That's where I'm at right now, is just buy and hold. I plan on probably taking out a loan, or I might look into staking issues, down the road after we get some more appreciation in the actual asset. But that's the cool thing about this, is we have so many options that are becoming available to us as this is being adopted and scaled out. This is the beginning. Can you imagine? Look, think about what's happened in crypto over the last 2 years, where we were then and where we are now, from 2023 to 2025. Imagine what this is going to look like in 2028 or in 2027. I mean, we're not going to have a change in administration without an impeachment or something major happening. So it looks like the gravy train for crypto is on the way, and hopefully it brings us into another bull cycle. We just need to get some more money behind it. If we didn't have such a crummy economy, all this great news would be pumping. Like, oh my gosh, if we had this kind of news back in 2021 with the euphoria that was going on in cryptocurrency, can you imagine the prices that cryptocurrency would have went to with this level of adoption and scaling and backing from the U.S. government? It's ridiculous, man. Excuse me. Dirty Sanchez says, long time holder, just waiting. Me too. It's a matter of when, not a matter of if. George Evans says, I'm pretty sure it's just Bitcoin mining contracts that locks up XRP. Again, I'm not sure. I'll have to look more into that. Jabez says he changed his old cold wallet from Ledger to Trezor since Jake Claver said that Ledger had some lawsuits because of disappearing cryptos. Is Trezor a good substitute, you think? I personally have Ledger and Trezor, and I'll be truthful with you guys. I'm looking into a couple other cold wallets. I've had some companies approach me about potential partnerships, and they are sending me a couple samples. So I will be checking on some new cold wallets, and I'll be giving you guys that information when I get it, okay? I don't want to recommend anything I haven't personally touched. Trezor has worked well for me. The only thing I will say about any cold wallet is make sure you purchase one directly from the manufacturer, and it's also important to be looking at quantum computing security moving forward as well, because here in the next 2 to 3 years, that's going to be a very, very real threat, and it's something that they're already planning for. Here in the future, I definitely plan on covering security a lot more, but that would be my recommendation. Trezor is a very good cold wallet. It's something that I personally use. Again, I'm not recommending anything, but it is something that I do use. Let's see here. Janine says, I saw something about BlackRock ETF coming soon. There's nothing confirmed. Believe me, if I had confirmation that a BlackRock ETF was coming soon, I would have already done a video on it, I promise you. It's not confirmed. It is rumored. And again, Vanguard is allowing its customers to purchase through Bitwise as far as XRP goes. Their customers can purchase from Fidelity, Bitwise, and BlackRock. So if BlackRock does do an XRP ETF, that will also open up Vanguard to that ETF. Let's see here. I didn't find personally, someone else did. There's rumors, Janine, nothing concrete at all about a BlackRock ETF. As soon as I get something, I'll definitely let you know. Let's see here. Corey Anderson said, I'd say so. Quincy said, private ledger and public ledger are designed to be separate per Ripple. Again, and if we want institutional adoption, and I've said this before, we're going to have to make some, concessions. If we want institutional adoption, we're going to have to make some concessions, and privacy and KYC and identity, as far as being able to identify, not personal identity, but being able to identify the transactions, and not, being able to make the transaction public, but still keep information private. Like, all of these things are vital for the banking system. So there's probably going to be a private ledger that most banking systems run on, if we're being honest. But be truthful with you, we're trying to make changes in the financial system. But that being said, you have to compromise. And if they're going to continue doing their bank ways in a private, on a private ledger, and it means that we get some improvement, I might be happy with that. I'm not talking about some improvement in the price. I'm talking about some improvement in the overall banking infrastructure on how the little guy gets screwed. Okay, because think about it. The only reason they're jumping in now and they're all about tokenization and blockchain is because it's going to save them on fees and they're going to make more money. They don't give a shit about us. Oh, sorry. Excuse my language. They don't care about us. They don't. So the best thing we can try to do is read the tea leaves and make as much money as we can. We're not going to impact the change. Maybe I'm a cynic that way, but I'm looking out for my family and follow the money. The money tells you where to go, and the money's jumping hardcore into blockchain right now, not financial advice. Let's see here. 30 cents says, yeah, unfortunately, my phone is not compatible for decent. Have to buy a good phone first. Corey Anderson says, buy and hold while it's still cheap. I'm still buying each payday. That's the best way to go. Dollar cost average. Buy a little bit here and there. Keep going. Esimus says, much love from Bellingham, Washington. Welcome. First person from Washington, Bellingham, Washington. Okay. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your efforts to help educate the masses. I appreciate that. I do. And that's, really, I was actually talking to someone about this today, about my ADHD, and how it's really, really cool that I can dive down the rabbit holes that I enjoy and just share my thoughts and opinions on it and help other people out. I can't imagine a happier situation for me. I get to do what I love every day, and people find value from it. That's fantastic. Let's see here. Daniel Parker 3461. Do you think Ripple is going to gift the Fed some of the escrow to keep under the 20% of the supply? Or can they park it to Hidden Road and always work out? I think that's why they created Evernorth, their own DAT company. Me personally, because they did that after the announcement of the potential reclassification of the DAT companies. So I honestly think that's why they jumped on Evernorth so fast, was so they have a place to park XRP to keep Ripple from getting reclassified. Again, that's my opinion. That's not any advice or anything I have confirmed anywhere, but it makes sense in my head, and it's a great place for them to offload some XRP if they don't want to get reclassified were that to happen. Just a thought. Because think about it, Evernorth is, everyone's like, well, why would they waste $1 billion of XRP, right? What did Ripple just get evaluated at? Was it like a $7 billion fintech company, or even more massive than that? So really, by them dumping that XRP onto Evernorth, they raised their evaluation. Same thing CoinShares did when they just merged and they're trying to go on the NASDAQ. It's all about their valuation. Let's see here. Ledger is closed source software. Trezor is open source software. Open source always better because the pros can self-audit the software and short it back. Okay, good information on cold wallets right there. Again, do your own research. The only thing I will tell everyone is if you buy a cold wallet, for the love of Pete, buy it from the manufacturer. Don't buy it from some random place. That's how you get hacked. Something sleeping on the wallet. Let's see here. Lots of people use Tangem. I've heard good things about Tangem. Let's see here. Finishman says, Daniel Parker, 3461. That's what I keep thinking too. This U.S. debt being relieved with crypto adoption, aside from Trump literally saying maybe we'll pay off the debt with crypto. I mean, who knows, honestly, what Trump's going to do. I mean, he hasn't even been in office a year yet, and that's why I was making the point that we've had so much happen in the last year with crypto, or the last 2 years with crypto. If you really look at what the administration was to the changes and where we are now, it's really exciting to think about what can happen to crypto in the next 1, 2, 3 years. And I'm along for the ride. Let's go. So I've made it all through the chat. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the recap. If someone can give me an update on how many people in the stream, again, engage in the chat. I read every single one of them. I talk to every single one of y'all. I'll answer the questions. But right now, I'm going to go through a recap of everything we just covered. So anyone who's in the stream that came in late gets all of the information, and then I will re-engage with the chat. So let me know what's going on in the chat, everyone. I am going to hop back into a recap, and I will look at it when I get done. So recap, as we were discussing and talking, let's go to 1 day. It put me in the 5 minute. I hate the 5 minute chart. I want the 1 hour chart. There we go. 1 hour chart 1 day. We're sitting at 218, so not much movement today. Again, as far as price action goes, we want to see XRP reclaim 220 and needs to hold it. That's our next level of resistance. Yeah. Support is going to be 212 and then $2. Again, we have a fair value gap hanging out between 213 and 205. So don't be surprised if we come down and retest that area again. There's, again, fair value gap between that area. I'm not going to recover all the technical analysis, but again, we're going to chop until we get utility. And we covered all the ETF inflows. Again, 11 straight days. Come on, pull up. There it goes. 11 straight days of positive inflows for XRP. They are nearing 1 billion. Again, XRP, since the ETFs have gone live, have done more inflows than Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs combined. Read the dots, everybody. XRP is blowing up. So we covered the inflows. I covered that Vanguard customers can now purchase XRP ETFs through Bitwise. So the Bitwise XRP ETF should see a massive spike in volume over the next couple weeks. Again, we don't feel these inflows until 7 to 21 days after they hit, because they have to give them time to rebalance, create new orders, and get XRP off of available supply. Franklin Templeton currently sitting at 57 million XRP in their trust. Grayscale with a massive jump up to 64 million in their trust. Canary Capital now sitting with 162 million XRP. Rex Osprey has no change, just under 30 million XRP. Bitwise went up to 87 million XRP. And if we are, let's see here. If we are looking, again, I pulled this up earlier, 11 straight days of inflows. 21 shares is, I pulled up the tweet from 21 shares right here. They are still awaiting SEC to declare us effective as of 22 hours ago. They say, please wait for announcement from their official socials. Again, I retweet this stuff. If you want to follow me on X, it is Longview Crypto. We covered the brief touch on the yen carry trade again, potentially, right? This chart follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin follows this, actually. Bitcoin follows the yen to dollar. So as the dollar weakens against the yen, Bitcoin goes down, and that's why we had that massive crash the other day. Everyone was trying to blame Michael Saylor and them coming out talking on Michael Saylor. That happened hours after this. Just food for thought. You can line up the times if you want. Take a look at the charts. We covered Ripple partners with Red Dot Pay to expand XRP-powered remittances in Africa. This is a new corridor, one of the largest in Africa, that XRP specifically was saying being plugged in and utilized to help with remittances and cross-border payments in Africa. Red Dot Pay is also up and running in, I believe, Mexico and South America, Brazil. So they are, again, new corridors for directly XRP, very specifically, not RLUSD, XRP. Moving along, we talked about the explosion of activity on the XRP ledger. Just on December 2nd, we were reporting 1.35 billion XRP transferred in a single day, right? Typical range is 150 to 200 million. This took place at the same time we had the announcements from the MAS and this announcement about Red Dot Pay in Africa. Something is being built. You can see it forming on the ledger. And then, of course, directly after that, we already talked about all this. This is a recap. But, of course, directly after that, the SEC comes out and they says they're going to roll out an innovation exemption for U.S.-based crypto in January. This is going to allow banks. This is basically saying to banks, okay, hop on board. Everything's good. We're going to roll this out fast. The NASDAQ, last week, we talked about NASDAQ saying they are trying to tokenize the stock market as fast as possible. Guys, this is, I mean, here's another one too. I mean, I can just keep adding fuel to the fire, but here's another one too. Second biggest XRP ledger implosion, 365 days. This came out this morning saying that 2.23 billion of XRP. So that 1.35 billion, it's actually the same, got all the way up to 2.23 billion in a single day on XRPL, and they normally do 150 to 200 million. That is 10x, over 10x activity at the same time as these announcements. Okay, something is about to pop off. Not financial advice, but when these things are all happening at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that price is going to skyrocket. But I mean, guys, I mean, take the news, connect your own dots, do your own research. They're building something. I don't know what, and I don't know what it's going to do to the price, but that's why I buy XRP. My opinion, not financial advice. Let's see here. 35 people here. Thank you, Jabez. Shada577. I found your video shorts a few days ago and subscribed. I appreciate no fluff and food party stuff. Just solid info. Keep up the good work from Milwaukee. Thank you, Shada. I appreciate it. That's what I try to do. I try to bring you guys the news. I do give my take and opinion on it, and I am very pro XRP. But I am not a $1,000 XRP pump and dump kind of guy. My channel is about the long view. It is really in the channel. My channel is about the long view of crypto and what it's going to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now. And I do believe it is the greatest wealth transfer, not to quote Zach Rector, but I do believe it is going to be the greatest opportunity to gain wealth in my lifetime for a lot of us. We haven't seen anything like this since the rollout of the internet, and I attribute it to that a lot. I made a joke on my live streams that I was 18 years old when the bubble burst for .com, and I didn't know anything about investing. I ain't missing it this time. That's all. Let's see here. No FOMO. Yeah, no FOMO. I mean, it's not a fear of missing out. I am just that much of a believer in XRP. And I tell you guys what I think, and I present the data to back it up. Corey Anderson says, been buying since 2018 XRP and still buying. They're good for you. I do also use my crypto to buy things, everything we have waited as happening for XRP Ripple. I believe it is happening. I think I don't know how fast it's going to happen is the question. A lot of people have this mindset that it's going to be like that. And again, we need clarity. Nothing. I don't want anyone to get their hopes up. Nothing is going to happen until we have clarity. We need them to tell us that XRP is a bridge asset or a currency so they can utilize it without paying capital gains. I mean, actually, it was in this article too. If people are still watching and paying attention, I believe it was in this one. It was in one of my articles. Let me see. I think it was this one maybe. Yeah, right here. So here's an example of what Japan's planning on doing with crypto. Japan plans a 20% flat tax on all crypto gains. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more stuff rolled out like this in different countries now that crypto is becoming more mainstream adoption. They are creating crypto-friendly tax law for us. So honestly, I mean, I kind of wanted to live in Japan. I love the culture there. I mean, 20% flat tax on crypto is not bad. Let's take a look here. I am going to hop back into the chat right now, and we will cover everything. That is everything I had pulled up for you. Everything is recapped. So right now it's a chat party. Any questions, feel free to hit it up. If someone could let me know how many people are in the stream now, I will hop back into the chat and we will just do a chat party. As long as we keep talking, we'll keep going. Let's see here. Corey Anderson says, it's happening. I hope it's happening. Again, we need clarity. Daniel Parker says, Daniel Fishman, if he does that, then it's going to be spread over a handful of coins, but it's even possible to put the U.S. debt on the blockchain because the U.S. economy will be booming. So what they're talking about is if the U.S. government were to use crypto to basically print themselves out of debt, essentially claim a crypto, reevaluate the price, raising the balance sheet, they pay off their debt, boom. And that is a way to restructure an economy, but I don't think the rest of the world's going to be too happy with that. You know, we'll see what happens, but Russia has already pointed out that what we're trying to do with cryptocurrency, and the world's not too happy about it. Things are blowing up and moving fast. Agree, Janine, agree. Things are happening every single day. Very exciting times for us. Let's see. Corey Anderson says, definitely. Daniel Parker, agreed. Exciting stuff. Daniel Parker says, XRP, XLM, HBAR, ADA. I like XRP. I do like XLM. I do like HBAR. I like Avalanche. I like XDC. I like Chainlink. Anything that's ISO 20022 and has a proven track record of adoption and use case, I am happy about. But again, my personal opinion, the best chance for return on investment is XRP, and that's why it holds the most weight in my portfolio. Dirty Sanchez says, I thought XRP has clarity. It has partial clarity. It is deemed that it is not a security, and that's about it. So it has partial clarity. It does not have clarity. So right now we still have to pay capital gains taxes and stuff like that if we're to sell our XRP. So that means if a company wants to use, or a government wants to use XRP as a bridge asset, they would have to buy the unit, transfer, and then sell the unit. And they would have to pay any capital gains taxes. And like, it's a record keeping nightmare. It just makes no sense. Like, it doesn't make financial sense to use it while it still falls under that category. They needed it to be confirmed as a bridge asset or a currency for it to be fully utilized the way it's supposed to be. It does have partial clarity, but the banks aren't going to fully go on board until they have more clarity. I mean, just being honest with you. And Brad actually said that himself during interviews. He said that things really, really picked up for RLUSD once the Genius Act went through, that more banks were starting to lean in. And right now, they're not leaning in when it comes to using XRP or using HBAR or using these things because they don't have clarity yet. Banks move slow when it comes to this kind of thing. Traditional finance, they move slow. There's a reason why they've been using the same system for 50 years. Okay, this isn't going to happen overnight. A lot of people tend to think it will, and it would cause. And Jake Claver's theory, it would cause a massive emergency for them to do it, and a lot of people would suffer. Just keep that in mind. So, I mean, it would require a catastrophe for it to be adopted and used at that kind of scale that quickly. Again, not financial advice. Amsterdam in the house. Welcome from Amsterdam. Welcome. Yeah, nah, fishing. I only got 1,100 coins and got in way late. I'm in the red, but let's see where it goes. Well, you know, if you were, I mean, I was in the red for a long time, if it makes you feel any better. So I started investing in, I'll give you this story. I started investing in cryptocurrency back in 2019, is when I really started investing in it and following in it. And unfortunately, in 2022, I had multiple strokes and was divorced. And at that time, I had to liquidate everything to spread the assets. Well, unfortunately, 2022 is at the peak of XRP's lawsuit. So I had to sell for a loss and I had to liquidate everything and start over. That being said, I have been steadily rebuilding since 2023 and I am in the green, luckily. Let's see here. Ripple sell 1 billion every month and they have almost sold 1 billion in 11 days. It's the only thing going to get bigger. And remember, they released their escrow and locked up 700 million of it yesterday. So 300 million was purchased on the open market yesterday. Amsterdam in the house. Just buy more and hold. Next thing you know, you have 3,000. Exactly. Buy a little bit at a time. Buy what you can when you can. Everyone's situation is different. And again, none of this is financial advice. But let me tell you this. Everyone wants to get rich quick, okay? And in that process, a substantial amount of people get broke quick than they actually get rich quick. Who was it? Warren Buffett said, someone asked him in an interview one time that why do more people not take your advice? It seems like you got it figured out. He's like, well, I do. He's like, but my opinion is to get rich slow. Everyone else wants to get rich fast. So there are proven methods to gain wealth, guys. But I mean, some people are going to get lucky and get rich quick. I mean, but more people are going to lose everything than getting rich quick in the process. And that's just facts, figures, numbers, and logic for you. It's just the truth of the situation. But the stream is going on almost an hour now. I feel like it was a very successful stream. We got over all the information. I covered all the chat. I got to see a lot of new faces and a lot of my regular faces. So as always, I appreciate every single one of you. We did a lot of discussions about cold wallets today. I will be reviewing some of them soon. I'm working on some partnerships in that area, so I will have some information on that for you soon, as well as some other potential opportunities coming down in the future, which I think is really, really cool. But again, streams moving to noon. I will be on here at noon tomorrow. I will not be late. I don't have any appointments. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Shorts and updates will be coming out in between as always, all right? I'll see you guys later. Peace.